Hey guys, it's Crazy Comic Lady here, and I thought you might like to see my folder of fairy art, including the 30-day challenge that I did last year with my OC Portobello. So these are my fairies. I've got 13 of them. So this is Phallus, this is Pax, Portobello, Leechan, Button, Shiitake, her twin brother Lentinus Edodes. This is Indigo L, and then I've got Dap, Chanterelle, Foon, and Psilocybin. And then the evil villain of the piece, Honey. Yeah, if you're interested in my story and like my characters and everything, then you can. I've got pages of it. It'll all be in the video description below. In the rest of this folder is like all my other fairy art, and this is all like the concept stuff, like the original sketches and things. So this is the very first picture of Portobello that I ever did. She was just a mushroom fairy back then. She didn't have a story, and her wings were much different. And this was back in 2014. So, and there was some more of her, like her eyes and everything were slightly different as well. But her dress is pretty much exactly the same. It's just the wings that were like a lot different back then. And then there were more original concept ideas of her turning off a bunny. Again, her wings were different. But the pattern has changed now. That's the pattern I ended up going with. And that's her with her head in her hands. And then we have, this was the original concept idea for my mushroom fairy Chanterelle. So her wing design and her outfit completely changed. Originally this was just like a boring generic fairy, but I like the hair. So I was like, I'm going to keep this, and then I turned it into Chanterelle, which is a yellow mushroom. And that's her outfit. So she was the second fairy I created. And then I decided I needed more fairies, so then I created Shiitake, and I was looking at various mushrooms, and I found that there was a pink mushroom called a Pink's wax cap, and which is actually an endangered species in most of Europe. So you have to be very careful with this mushroom if you ever find it in the wild, because I think it's protected. So I thought I called her Pax, and she's like really shy and everything, and struggles to get her mushrooms to grow, which is why she's like endangered. And there's Little Button, the original design for Little Button, and yeah, I think I was like chopping up button mushrooms or something, which is like why I put her in. And then there's the villain. She's called Honey, and she's a Armorillia type of mushroom, which is like a parasitic fungi, which kind of destroys plants and trees and everything, because it kind of saps up all their nutrients and kills them and grows on them. So yeah, she's the evil villain who decides she wants the entire mushroom forest for herself, and eventually decides she first enlists the help of other fairies and then tries to kill everyone. So and then I wanted to create some boy fairies, so I think I first started with Leechan, who he's not actually a mushroom at all. He's actually like a type of moss that can grow in like any kind of environment, and he actually, like, mushrooms can grow out of this kind of moss, so he kind of like helps support all the other mushrooms growing in the forest. He's kind of like a support fairy. And there's Phallus, and he's a stinkhorn mushroom, and I didn't think the name stinkhorn was very attractive, which is why he was called Phallus, which, yeah. And then there's Dap, and he is a death cap mushroom, which is a very deadly, poisonous mushroom. So yeah, he's originally enlisted to help Honey to destroy the other fairies. And then I actually decided I needed like Shiitake, I wanted a brother, so that's when I created her brother Lentinus Edodes, which is the scientific name for a Shiitake mushroom. So I created him. And then this page, there's some more. There's Chanterelle, and then I created this guy because my friend Vashta told me about a blue mushroom that kind of glows, and I googled it, and I was like, that is so cool, I got to create a fairy of him. So this is Indigo L. So he's I think it's L. The L stands for Lactarius, I think. Was it? Yeah. Yeah, so Indigo, so L stands for Lactarius Indigo, which is you can get them in like various colours and stuff. So I was really struggling with his design originally. Like, I couldn't decide, that's him picking his nose, like the wing pattern, and then I was kind of like, well, he should have like something like round his waist perhaps. And I was just really struggling with like the design idea and everything. And oh, there's Chanterelle all laid out at the bottom. So yeah, I really struggled with him, and I worked on it a bit more, and he ended up with like kind of, I don't know, jumper thing tied around him, like hoodie or something, and then that kind of changed to like a leaf being tied around him at the bottom. Anyway, he's best friends with Button, and this is like a slightly older version of Button, because I felt like drawing her older, which then I ended up using actually in the story of her when she's older as well. So yeah, that's some more ideas of him. I struggled with his design. So this is a picture of just Lentinus Edodes and his sister Shiitake together. They have identical wing patterns because they're twins. And then I've got Psilocybin, who's a magic mushroom fairy. Originally she started off as this doodle, which was really bad, and I was like, yeah, I even drew a little picture of me sticking my tongue out in disgust of how awful that little pen doodle was. But then I liked the idea that she ended up with no arm in that doodle, so I kept it, and I just created this character that only had mushrooms growing out of her one arm that could be, they can be like detached and then turned into magical properties and used to enhance like equipment and stuff. So these were more like ideas of, I just randomly turned Portobello into a mermaid, which then carries on again into the story when she's like attacked. It actually becomes like a pivotal part of the story, the whole mermaid thing. And this side was like my original ideas. There's characters called water sprites in my story, which are like evil kind of mermaid fairies, and they're kind of like creepy looking and slightly evil, but some of them are nicer. Like this blue one saves the life of Portobello twice. So yeah, these were again the original like concept sketches and stuff. This is just a page of little like ATC ideas, and that's a water sprite with like, when they're out of the water they have to have air bubbles around their head so they can breathe. And that was an evil fly guy who ends up being part of the Mushroom War because Honey enlists their help. And the rest were little ATC ideas that I was having. These were the ideas of when I was doing the front cover of this folder with all like little portrait things. I was like sketching out them, and then I decided to create this character who is based on an Amantia mushroom, which is a British mushroom which you get in like all the storybooks, the red ones with like all the spots on and everything. And she's sort of based, her design is kind of slightly inspired by my friend Renee, and also Korra from Legend of Korra Avatar, like her outfit and everything. So yeah, I then created her as an extra mushroom. I was trying to create other mushrooms as well. I was writing out like this one, Malataki was supposed to be like, he's known as like the hen of the forest or something they're called, like chicken of the woods and stuff. They're a type of mushroom known as the dancing mushroom, so he was like a dancing mushroom fairy. And then this one was going to be Morales, which is like a notoriously ugly mushroom, so I was going to kind of base her off Hunchback of Notre Dame, and make her slightly deformed, but you know, still like really good natured and sweet. But I ended up like scrapping these because they didn't really fit into my story at all. If you read my story, there's nowhere for them really to fit in. So that was some more ATC ideas of Foon and Psilocybin and Honey. And this was more of this is Portobello's battle outfit, because her original one gets really ripped up and destroyed during the first Mushroom War. So again, this is there's more of her battle outfit right there. And this was actually, I kind of drew some of the final battle scene. So also that's what she looks like from behind. She has like this little plushy mushroom thing, which is kind of like a bow. So I drew her from the back. But yeah, this is the final battle thing, is she is able to shoot like magical abilities out of her hands, and she has these extra special gloves which give her like stronger attacking power when she has to fight Honey, who is actually stronger than her. And so she lands on a branch during the final battle, and Pax is eventually Pax is the one that defeats Honey, really, by firing a magic arrow into Honey's wings destroying them, so her wings will get ripped off, which destroys her magical ability. But Honey decides she isn't going to go down without a fight, so she launches herself at Portobello. And Portobello's poor wings can't sustain the weight, so she kind of falls, grabs onto a branch as she's falling. But this little sash Honey's holding onto, which then rips, and Honey falls down into the waters below. But yeah, if you want to know what happens to the story, you can read it down below. And this was actually a scene where Pax is kind of saying goodbye to the spirit of Phallus, because he dies during the battle, which gives Pax the strength to actually like continue fighting and become quite a strong character in her own right. So this was I was going to do like a picture of all of my characters with Portobello in the middle, but I never got that far. And these are all like the final designs, this whole section. So this is like the original inked version of like what all their final designed outfits would look like. I was originally going to colour this, but I never got around to it. Like, I put the dates at the top right of like all the pages, because it's actually completely out of order. It's not in date order, it's in like my own order. And these were like the colour ideas of what all the colour outfits would look like when they were done. And then these are the final designs for my boys. And this was before I had Indigo L, which is why he's not in the picture. But yeah. And then these were like the original colour designs for my boys. And he actually got Dap, he got completely redesigned. And he starts off as kind of a villain, but he becomes a good guy in the end. But yeah, I redesigned him because I wanted the colours to reflect the kind of mushroom that they're based on. And the original like black and red, just that kind of mushroom isn't black and red. It's really like, it doesn't give any kind of signs that it would be poisonous, because it looks just this kind of olivey green colour. So I kind of tried to do his skin and his hair a more olivey green colour and get his wings to sort of match like part of the colour with a tiny bit of red, just to make him look like slightly more dangerous. And also his wings are supposed to be like the most alluring out of all the fairies. So that was my little coloured chart for working out his colours. And then this was the colour chart for my character Foon, who her outfit and everything. I originally based Portobello and Button's outfit on this type of mushroom, so there's like a similarity in the outfits. So yeah, this was like my little colour references for the psilocybin. So here's a better picture of the lips that I was trying to emulate Nautica Williams' beautiful lips. So that's what I was trying to do there. And a tiny little colour doodle of Indigo L. And I'm still not entirely sure if I'll keep that. It's very, very blue. Mainly I'm having trouble with like eye colour of the characters. Like, I don't know like what eye colours to give these things. But so this is Button, and in the story, when Portobello vanishes for a section of the story and presumed dead, they're going to lose the Mushroom War, and the only way to have even a chance is to get Button grown up very quickly so that they can have a fighting chance, because with Portobello gone, she's the next strongest fairy and the only hope they have to take on Honey. So they have to like speed up her aging and advance her, so she grows up like very, very quickly in that section of the story, and she ends up taking Portobello's place as the Mushroom Protector. So that was her grown up. There's another attempt at a grown up version of Button, which is kind of hard making her grown up because she's such a little cute thing. And this is Portobello's wedding dress, because after the first part of the Mushroom War, when they think they're safe, Portobello and Leechin finally confess their feelings for each other, and they're going to get married. So I tried to design her a dress that's kind of looks a bit mushroomy, so it's all poofy. And there's like little designs on the top as well. And all the characters end up with like with different wedding outfits for Portobello's wedding. So this is Dap's outfit, and that is Pax's outfit, and she's the one that marries them. And that's little Button as a little bridesmaid. And then this is Chanterelle's outfit. Chanterelle actually has a beauty spot on her, like under her eye, and sometimes I forget to like add it into like into a lot of the pictures, but that's her wedding outfit. And there's comments are made of her trying to upstage the bride. But yeah, this is psilocybin's very inappropriate outfit. Like, Foon is like, how can you possibly wear that to a wedding? It's completely not what you should wear at a wedding. But she really doesn't understand that, because she's so magical that she's kind of, it's like she's high the whole time, basically. So she doesn't really understand like common concepts and stuff. So that's it for like the rough design stuff. And these are like that was just a picture of her sitting down holding her legs, Portobello, because I thought that picture was cute. And then this is all like the final like coloured like couple illustrations and stuff of characters. So that's the one I did for the Halloween last year. I did this picture. And then this is Portobello and Leechin. This was like when I first decided that they should be together, because they look cute together, they're sweet. And there's them again, little romantic couple, and again, and then I drew Portobello naked, because, you know, why not? And there's Shiitake and her brother, and then this is Chanterelle and Dap again, because she kind of falls really hard for him, and he actually really likes her as well. And it's very difficult, since he's an undercover agent working for Honey at the time, but since he falls in love with her, he joins the good guys to help, you know, save her and save all the fairies, and becomes a goodie. And at the end, because he's poisonous, he can never touch her. So because he doesn't want to live in isolation anymore, he makes the decision to magically sever his wings, so ridding himself of all his magical abilities, and he's no longer a mushroom fairy, he's just a regular little elf guy. And this scene is supposed to be, when she finds out what he's trying to do, she tries to fly to him as quickly as possible to stop him from severing his beautiful wings, but she gets there too late, and he says, but they get together and they live happily, and he actually becomes a bird tamer, so he can still fly around, and he tames birds, and that's very useful in like one of the final battles, his ability to train birds to help in the upcoming war. So yeah, so that's my story. That's all my fairy art. I have been trying to do like little ATC coloured things of all of them. So this was actually a Draw It Again one of this one that I did. This was when I first declared Portobello as like my channel mascot, and I tried to do a Draw It Again challenge. So yeah, and then I've got little Button as well. I really like the way this one came out, but I screwed up a wing pattern. They're supposed to curl around the other way. But yeah, it's so annoying. I do this with like my fairies all the time. I get like their wing patterns the wrong way around. So then I've got little Pax, little Shy Pax, and Phallus, and then Chanterelle, and my twins. I really like this one. This one took me ages to do, and it's a lot of the water and everything, like the raindrops and everything, like the drips and everything. That's all inspired by art by Karen E. Haley, because she's very good at doing watery scenes and everything. So yeah, I think that's all I've got of like all my fairy things at the moment. I've only done half of them of ATCs, and I plan to do like the rest of them at some point when I get around to it. But yeah, thanks for watching. A lot of people made me really amazing fairy fan art of my OCs, so I'll put those in quickly at the end of the video. And huge thank you for everyone who made me fan art, because I love it. I love my fairy fan art that you guys do for me. I cherish it. But yeah, thank you. I really hope you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed listening a little bit about my fairies, and there's more information in the video description below if you're all that bothered. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!